These are the people, the men of God, they prefer the need of others over themselves. So when they see that people need something, they take care of them. So in Islam, that when somebody is sick, as a believer, we're supposed to visit them, we're supposed to do whatever we can. If somebody dies, so we have to take care of them, we have to bury them, do all the process. If somebody is widow, somebody is orphan, all needs we have to do. This is moral obligation and this is religious obligation. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the Muslim who is serving the other Muslims or other people around, not even the Muslim or non-Muslim, anyone, he is closer to God.
The goal of Interfaith Week was to break the barrier between religions, to create that dialogue. We wanted to show people that, like me and Tahira, like a Muslim and a Jew, a Muslim woman and a Jewish woman can get along. We can talk, we can speak, we can work together to create interfaith advocacy.
So from the perspective of the Campus Religious Council, the goal was to really just kind of connect all sorts of people from every background, from every ethnicity, religion, anything that makes us different from one another, and to just kind of relate to one another on a human scale. So that's kind of what we saw at today's event for Better Together Day, but that was really the main goal for the entire week. So just kind of see each other as humans instead of, what you might think to see someone as.
Islam means to me, it's a way of life for me. I grew up Muslim, so I have to do some things that revolve around Islam.
Is basically my life. It's my inspiration towards everything I do. It teaches me to strive for a better education, for morals, for more self-confidence.
Well, the word Islam means peace, and so that's definitely one thing that it means to me. It's my inner peace, it's my outer peace, it's my way of identifying myself. But for a big part, it is, it is just really peace for me.
I think everybody could find something different from Islam. A lot of people have been empowered by it. A lot of people have found, if their mind is very hectic right now, they can find peace. A lot of it is meditation. So, but I think generally it's empowerment. It's also getting involved in your community. It's also, just reaching out to people and getting to know and being more open-minded.
Well, I think it's basically loving each other regardless of what our identities are and what our skin color is or minor differences are, and to create better relationships with our families, our friends, our neighbors, everyone.
Islamophobia is a type of xenophobia. It is a fear of the other, but by that I mean, you don't really want to understand the other, and so by default, you're not very accepting of it because you won't try to reach out, and if you don't really know something, you're obviously not gonna want to get involved. Yeah.
Islamophobia happens when someone does not have a complete understanding of Islam, so they will use other means of media, of anything that they hear to believe what this is about, what Islam is about.
It inspires me, it motivates me to become a better person, to be a better representative of my religion. And sometimes, when I hear about a crime in the media, I'm always hoping that it's not done by a Muslim. And when it's done, I know that I will be blamed for it, simply just because of my identity.
So I grew up in America. I've never really faced any discrimination up until the point where I started wearing hijab, which was in 7th grade. It's kind of like a physical manifestation. It kind of tells people that you're Muslim, so now they know. And then in 10th grade, I had an experience where someone tore it off my head in high school. and she tore it off, and then she just kept walking, so she didn't even stop, and like her friends turned around and they were laughing. So that happened. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't really address it or anything, and I know like from studying now Islam that a lot of cases like this go like people don't report it, and even with like unreporting these cases, like not reporting them, there's still a spike, like 600% more hate crimes after 9/11.
I know that especially with this whole election year, there has been, in my at least experience, there has never been more hate towards Muslims so open. So I know for the group that we do, the Society of Young Muslim Women, we did a project when Donald Trump said, you know, all Muslims should have registered IDs, and we kind of held our school IDs, and we were like, well, this is the only ID that I have, you know, and I also identify as a Muslim or a girl, or, you know, I play basketball or this and that, and like we have so many different identities. Why do you have to focus on the fact that we're Muslim? And if you do want to focus on the fact, then how about you let us speak, since we are Muslim? It seems like, especially in the media today, any type of media, it's everyone wants to talk about Muslims or for Muslims, but no one wants to hear an actual Muslim. Exactly.
It creates a fear in Muslims and in non-Muslims. For Muslims, they will have to watch wherever they go. They have to be very careful of what they say from those comments that were made. And non-Muslims who do not know or understand what our religion actually says, it creates a fear in them, saying that this is exactly what Muslims are like. It creates a frame, and they see everything else within that frame.
Well, unfortunately, every time like I open up the media and hear something about Islam, it always has to be something negative. It always has to be related to terrorism. It has to be related to extremism. And I never or barely hear anything about a Muslim hero or a Muslim who was a victim of a crime.
I just watched an interview a couple of months ago, and like it was Fox News, and then also Hannity, right? They
Oh, I love Hannity.
Yeah. So like they brought on this one guy, and I was just like, okay, a Muslim voice, like this is pretty cool. I usually don't watch Hannity, but like I was watching, and he was saying things like, you know, Muslim women should not like be out and about, like you should have them behind closed doors and stuff. And I'm listening to him, I was like, I don't know where they find these people, but I mean,
Probably on the payroll.
yeah, right. So I mean, they bring these faces and like people with these opinions, and it's kind of traumatic. But and they don't. I don't think they go enough to, you know, normal practicing Muslims, and that's a shame.
The goal of our organization is to spread the awareness that Islam is prominent in the United States, and for us to spread that knowledge to people who don't know about Islam.
To demonstrate different faiths, different non-faiths. We did the speed faith thing, so that it's like speed dating, but for religions. And you know, we had a Buddhist monk come, we had the Atheist Club, we had Ratio Christi, SCF, MSA, Hillel, and so, you know, I went to the Buddhist one and I got to hear a monk speak about Buddhism, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. And I got to learn a lot. And, you know, like the Interfaith panel we talked about symbolisms. So when it came to light, we talked about the similarities and the differences in what the different faiths and non-faiths believed in light. And so it's interesting to look at how we are similar and different, and to basically show that this can happen. We can work together. That besides what the media says, what happens in the news, on TV, we can all work together. It's very possible.